Hello, 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 friends. I love you, I love you, I love you so much. No weapons formed against our past, present, or future shall ever prosper. The message is ROI. When you go inward, when you connect with the divine, God, source energy, all that is, whatever you feel comfortable associating the creator with, when you are tapped in and tuned in, your ROI with God is going to be infinite. It's going to be max. It's going to take you to your highest potential, right? God's timing may be right on time, even though sometimes I'll be needing it to be on my time or wanting it to be on my time. Yesterday, I was walking back from the beach, and I'm not really sure what happened in this area, but in this community that I'm staying in, there seems to have been some type of flooding. I don't know how recent it was or how long ago it was. And yeah, that's the ocean in the background. And there's like this flooded area, right, where the cars and the motorbikes have to drive through. And on my way walking back, because I could get a shuttle if I wanted to wait for the shuttle to take me back to the condo, I could. And I was planning on walking, but at the same time I was like, I'm gonna have to pass this area. Like, how is that gonna work out? Especially because my sandals are white and ruffly and very cute. I want them to stay that way. So when I was walking back and I got to that point, a car had pulled up, right? And had asked me if I knew some directions, like the person in the car. And I was like, yeah, I'm actually going in that direction. And he ended up giving me a ride. And turns out the place that he was looking for, although it's the name of the community, it didn't exist yet, right? And so we were talking about that on a ride for him to drop me off at the spot I told him to drop me off at, and which was divine timing because I didn't have to figure out how I was going to walk through that. He was talking, coming to find out he wasn't from here, but he had made an investment 13 years ago to buy into a property that isn't built yet because the future will bring him ROI, a return on investment. But as I was speaking with him, he was saying how he doesn't like this country, he doesn't like the politics of it, and he wouldn't live here in this community, which is really, really nice, actually. But he was going on and naming a lot of things that he wasn't interested in about this place. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem like a good investment. He was like, oh no, it's a great investment. So far, from my observations, you know, I don't down anyone's beliefs, but God does allow me to see sometimes things can start out being a good idea, and it could be a good idea temporarily until another one forms, right? And so it's been 14 years already that he had invested in something, and it didn't even exist yet, with the future plans of him Airbnb-ing something out and then making money on it. So what am I talking about? God's ROI. when something is for you, the return on investment is going to be immediate. When I immediately decided to walk in faith and fully believe in God, my return on investment was instant. I instantly felt better. I was in a sunken place. I was depressed. A whole bunch of things was going on in my life. And I felt like the only place for me to go was just out of this world. Like literally not wanting to be here anymore. I was dissatisfied with the outcome of my life up until that moment in time. And when it was that God had shown me that, look, these things that you said you wanted really aren't what's going to fulfill you, because they were all external. None of it was internal. It was the relationship, it was the marriage, it was the home, it was the things, it was the finances. All that stuff was external to me. And my ROI was an up and down roller coaster emotionally, and no connection really spiritually. And my body was breaking down in my mental state and my physical state. But as soon as I decided to turn inward and really have faith in God, my ROI is just through the roof. It's through the roof, okay? I too know about some good ideas. When he was talking, it kind of reminded me about my investments in cryptocurrency. I believe in crypto, but not as much as I once did. When the opportunity presented itself for me to invest in crypto, I had invested, I don't know, between $150,000 and $200,000 of my own money into cryptocurrency. And I had the full belief that when crypto hit, my life was just going to be extraordinarily amazing. But time had passed, and it just was not working out how I had anticipated it to work out. And that's what God had shown me when I was down in the dumps. God clearly told me that I was waiting for some external thing to make my life feel complete. When if I just bet and invested in God, God would show me that I can have an abundant, full life right now and not wait 2, 3, 5, 10 years or whenever my investments was going to pop off. And I said, what? Like, for real, God? Like, you could do that? Absolutely. So I used to do financial consulting and advising for people. And I would never advise anyone back then to do what I had done. I've never taken a loss in finances, not on purpose, not when I invested X amount of dollars and then I'm selling it and I'm getting less than what I had invested. Like, usually that wouldn't make any sense. But what God has showed me on my journey is that it's 2025 November. So 2 years and 7 months later, I have sold all of my crypto, which a financial advisor or accountant would be like, no, don't ever do that. Just wait. I mean, I literally told people to do that. But my return on investment was way more, well more than what I had invested, because I had received deposits into my emotional bank account to where I sold my crypto at strategic points that God told me to sell it at, so that I could do all of the things that I wanted to do that would bring me joy, which also included me writing a book, starting my own business, and traveling the world. Also making conscious choices, eating the healthiest foods, nourishing my body in the best ways, exercising, going to workout retreats, and having personal trainers and nutritionists. Like, I've been able to accomplish so many dreams. Like, my dream list is just, it's like a running page of so many things for me to do, and I knock out so many things, and I have to come up with more things and more things and more things, because God has shown me that I was always supposed to invest in her, invest in all that is, and not invest in any external source, because God literally makes all things possible. When there is no way, God will make a way. And that's what God did for me. So my return on investment by investing in God and walking in faith was a complete 100%, 1,000,000%, an infinite percent investment in my own joy and happiness and upliftment. And friends, if you have a good idea, or what seems to be like a good idea, but like you're not taking any forward action with this idea, like this person, I know it probably seemed like, oh, the price was low, I'm gonna get this condo and eventually it's gonna make me so much money. But like, if you think about it, if 14 years have passed and this building still doesn't exist, was it really a good return on investment? You know what I'm saying? Like, my return on investment when I walked in faith and God was like, nourish your body and honor your body, and I had lost so much weight, friends. I was so skinny. I mean, I'm already thin. I was looking through my phone at pictures of me. I looked like, yeah, I was withering away. And I made conscious choices. I had an eating problem. I had an eating disorder. I fucking stopped eating food, period, in America. Like, I was so distraught with all the documentaries that I was watching. A good one is Knives, Food versus Knives, or Knives versus Food. That's a good documentary. I mean, it's going to tell you about how let food be thy medicine, and people are curing cancer and diabetes and all kind of sicknesses just with food. And because of all of the stuff that is going on in America, where they're intentionally sabotaging our nutrition and the air and the water and everything else, I stopped eating. I was like, I would rather starve than have a headache every time I would go to the grocery store and be like, oh my God, is this food safe? Like freaking, what's that dude name that think he a damn doctor? And he's into technology. Like, he got some shit to spray on vegetables so that it can preserve it longer. Bill Gates, that guy, I think he's a freaking scientist, and he need to leave shit alone. Like, there's people out there intentionally trying to harm us. And that's why I stopped eating, because every time I would go to the grocery store, I would feel overwhelmed knowing all of this information, and I had just literally lost my appetite. That's why I left America in the first place. And I just wanted to travel because it was just so stressful over there. People be working their whole life, they making all this money, and then they spending all this same money trying to maintain a status quo, and it's really not the life that they wanted, just one that they happen to fall into, and just so much unhappiness. I didn't want any of that. And God showed me a completely different way, a completely different life, and I started to nourish myself and eat, and not feel bad about eating. That was the thing. I had a really bad connection with food. There's a whole bunch of seaweed that be pushing up on the shores here on the beach. And there's a little tractor going around getting up the seaweed. Anyway, as soon as I started nourishing my body and honoring my body and putting the right things in it, I started to feel better mentally, physically, and spiritually. So my return on investment was me feeling better, me being elevated, me making conscious choices, me turning to God, going inward, me loving myself, me thinking about everything, me being conscious. So my return on investment was huge. It is and continues to be huge. If you have investment opportunities and you're not seeing any results after a week, in your mental state, in your physical state, in your spiritual state, you may want to reassess. You may want to sit with God and be like, God, I thought this was a great idea. It seemed like it was a great idea. It was adding up to be a great idea. Is this a great idea, God? Can you show me a sign? Can you tell me if this is what I'm supposed to do? And sit and listen and wait for the answer. The answer may come in the form of a direct download or insight into your brain, or you may be clairaudient and right then listen to a song and listen to the lyrics, and the lyrics are literally answering your question. Or you may see a synchronicity, and a synchronicity could be answering your question. Like, God responds to us in so many ways. It could be a person that just happened to come by and say something. Or you could be specific, like, God, if this is the answer, show me a butterfly that is blue. Show me an orange and yellow caterpillar. Show me something, God. Like, you could be specific like that. That's how amazing God is. Like, don't be sleeping on what God can do for you, friends. Do not be sleeping on what God can do for you. Remember, the Creator did create this whole abundant planet, this beautiful ocean, these amazing trees, this air, the sun, the moon, the fruits and the vegetables, the grains, the herbs. Like, God created everything. Everything. So God can create nothing but answers for you, can create the abundance for you. God can do any and everything. There is no limits. There's absolutely no limitations to what God can do for you in your life. All you have to do is believe. All you have to do is believe. And I know it get tough. I'll be having many a conversation with God. And I'll be walking in the knowing and unknown all the time. I think I know some shit, and then I don't know some shit. And I think I know something, and I don't know something. And I'll be like, God, like, damn, like, don't confuse me. But overall, it's teaching patience. It's teaching commitment. It's teaching strength, right? I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, friends, at my life. I am so happy that I had invested in crypto, because that was like a little savings account for me to not spend some money, and I held on to it. And then God had strategized with me on when to sell it and how can I enjoy these experiences that I wanted to experience. And it was just like, wow, I didn't think that this could be possible, that I could live this life right now. Not 5 years from now when the crypto supposedly pop off, or 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, because I don't even know if I would be existing. That's the thing about future shit, right? Is that I have no idea in the future if I am going to be in my same physical shape, in my same mental state. I have no idea what the state of the world is going to be, that I would want to accomplish these dreams at this time. I have no idea of what the future holds. So God is like, sis, you need to do it now. You need to do it now. I could be unalive tomorrow. I could not wake up a week from now, but in 5 years, the crypto popping off, and then, my kids or whoever is going to be receiving those blessings. Like, nah. God is like, live in the moment. Enjoy this time right now, friends. If there's any dreams that you wish to accomplish and you don't have any cash in your bank account, I would prescribe this. People gonna think I'm crazy, but I don't really care what people think. If you don't have no money to your name, you best to believe there is a loan place that do. You better believe that Visa, Discover, American Express, MasterCard, or any one of these agencies that got all this fake money at their disposal, you need to sign up for as much as you can get. And do not worry on how you're going to pay it back. That is not what there should be a concern. The concern is if you are in a place where you're not mentally satisfied consistently, the concern now is to bring joy and happiness in your life. So you want to go to your friends in the lending business. You want to get out as much as you can. You want to think of all of the things that you want to do, that you can do within this amount that's going to bring you fun. If you want to go on a trip someplace by yourself, if you want to go on a trip with your kids, if you want to go on a trip with your partner, go ahead and do it. You never flew first class and you want to fly first class, go ahead and get that ticket. You want to have this experience, go have those experiences. You want to eat in this kind of place. If you want to increase your return on investment in your own personal self-love and joy, you want to invest in yourself by taking some trips and doing some things that's going to bring you abundance and joy. And it's not waiting for you to retire from your job because you already put 15 years in and you got 5 more left. It's not when you're going to get time off, because the thing is, the job will be there to keep you in that loop and keep you in a cycle until you die. But you don't know how long you're going to be here. So that's what we never want to play with, because you can look around and see that people around you are getting older. People around you are getting sick. People around you are actually dying. So what are you waiting for? The time is now. The time is right now. And when you go ahead and you have this amazing fun adventures, God is going to give you the ideas. Look, I've been writing books for a while. I've had books written on my laptop for a while, a few years now. And I started writing when I was in Mexico. Again, I wrote another book when I was in Mexico, even though I had like 2 or 3 already saved on my laptop that I had started. And then I started writing a book. I did like 70 pages in one day. And then I was like, God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is like, I got the flow. It was for a couple of days, but then I stopped because I didn't have that motivation anymore. So if I didn't have the motivation, I wasn't forcing it, because the day that I had wrote 70 pages, it was just like flowing so freely. That's going to be my next book anyway. Yeah. So, because it goes hand in hand with what I was talking about in my book, The Love Effect. That's on Amazon. Check it out. On all of the things I've done to change my life. And so it was like, go have more fun. If I had lost the inspiration and the insight to continue writing, go have fun. The home that I had in Mexico was so amazingly beautiful. The only downside, and thank you, Eduardo, it was a very beautiful home, was that it did not have access to a beach. It was in front of Lake Chapala, the biggest lake in Mexico. Very, very great energy there, but it did not have access to a beach. And I was like, see, God, I would literally have everything here. But God knew that if a beach was there, I would be stuck. I would be content. I would not want to move, because it had everything. I had met so many amazing people. All the little healthy organic shops was there. The fruit, like, I had everything there except for a beach. And if a beach was there, I'd have been stuck. You know, I'd have been like, not in the Matrix kind of stuck, but I would have been very content not having to do anything else in Mexico at that spot. So God already knew, right? Like, there was more for me. So that's why when I found that place, I knew it was only going to be temporary. We have to have fun to give us the insight and the inspiration to create. And when we create, that is what is going to generate create our generational wealth, right? You always want to find yourself in a position where you are creating things to where eventually money will be made without you ever having to do anything. I had to put time and effort into creating my book, hiring a publicist, getting it put online, developing websites, like making products. Like, I put time and effort into all of these things. So now it's just like going to make money all on its own. I don't really have to do anything but create more, right? The return on investment for me will be generational wealth for my children for now on. And whatever I contribute to other organizations and other people to help them move forward. That is what the return on investment is for me. Believing in myself, loving myself, and stepping in faith and really connecting with the divine source energy, God, all that is. I just wanted to explain that so you can see for yourself, friends. See for yourself. If you are not tapped in and tuned in with God, the divine source energy, all that she is, stop right now. Say thank you. Connect with God. connect with God. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Thanks for listening to my rambles. I'll be having so much information going on in my brain. It's like, ooh, butterflies, transformation. It is very transformational when you walk in faith. It is very transformational when you walk in faith. Thank you, butterfly. Your return on investment is you can't lose. Okay? So always invest in yourself and know that you cannot fail. You cannot fail. You cannot fail when you believe in yourself. And so what if obstacles come? That's just giving you more ideas on how to circumvent other stuff. That's it. Don't look at it a roadblock as, oh, I tried, and then you sit down and you give up. Nah, don't give up so quickly. Don't give up so easily. Especially if you have not hit the pinnacle and you are not enjoying all of the things that you wish to enjoy in this life. Okay? Don't be stuck in contentment. Make sure, friends, that you are so grateful and happy to be alive every single day. Today, it was just like, I'm going to walk. I'm going to go for a walk. And I ended up walking on the beach. And it's been beautiful. Talking to God. Cleansing. And now I have a message to share. I always have messages to share. It's just like a matter of do it, right? I love you, I love you, I love you all so very much. You're amazing, magical, spiritual, universal, galactic beings of the highest white light. Y'all don't even know what I be talking about, how amazing you are here on planet Abundance. To have an amazing, joy-filled human existence, friends. Please have one. I love you. Bye.